Chair coming back on Instagram. What's going on? Hefe Big, Eddie Garrett, Mark Torres. What's going on? Faith Love, Funny IQ. 1, 2, 3. I am L's MSW. Tuesday, we got hit so hard, we had like 1,100 or 1,200 people on here at one time.
Oh, wow.
So hopefully this is going to be another repeat of that.
Hope they're back.
Yes. Jay Jacobs, Real Bryce Irving, Dwayne Shaw, Bill, how you doing? Virjana, what's going on? How you guys doing out there? YG Lee in the house. Got a great show for you guys as usual. So, with no further ado, happy Friday. Welcome to Titan Lifestyle with me and Big Drew.
That's right. Titan Lifestyle every Friday. Happy Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We do this every week, so make sure you tune in every week. Yes. And again, if you can't catch us in the live, we always replay it later on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and you can also check out the podcast.
Yep. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
Marco said, hoping to join the Titan Lifestyle. Absolutely. We're ready for you guys, man, for sure. At this point, we're going to do a Q&A for you guys. So if you have any questions about what we do or how it can help you guys or what you guys are trying to achieve, anything from hormone replacement therapy, males, females, medical weight loss, vitamin amino acid injectable therapies, rejuvenation detox, libido enhancers, peptide therapies, blood work nationwide. You guys are trying to build lean muscle, lose weight, have better cognitive thinking, anti-aging effects, all that good stuff.
Better appetite, better body weight, better sex life, better everything. You can get it done here at Titan.
That's right. Better all improve quality of life. Alex, how you doing? Faith Love, what's going on? EP Florida Real Estate, how you doing? T. Godrum, what's going on? So, I guess, at this point, if you guys are getting some questions together, we can kind of talk about some of these different things that we got lined up for you guys. One, let's talk about the special. Blood work special right now. Anywhere in the United States, we can help you guys out. $130 for males, $200 for females. This is a very in-depth blood test for you guys, so it's not just your basic comprehensive metabolic panel, CMP, CBC. It's really, really in-depth. It's going to help you guys out to see what's going on inside.
Yeah, it's a full panel, too. And also, if you guys are getting your blood work done elsewhere and they tell you it's a full panel, ask for the testing. Yep. Ask for a list. Don't just take their word for it. See what they do. Because here it's a legit full panel. Like John said, it's 130. 200 for females. The only reason it's a little bit more for females because people are like, why? It doesn't make sense. Because there's more testing involved.
Absolutely.
Females have more stuff that we have to test for. I don't have to test for.
That's right.
Titan has to test for. Dr. Drew, no, I'm not a doctor. But yeah, it's more testing, so it's obviously costs a little bit more. That's the only reason there's a price difference.
Absolutely. So there's more testing involved in the females. That is one of the specials going on, and I'll give you guys a sneak peek into next week. Mother's Day is coming up. I believe it's May 12th, so when is that? Let me just look here for you guys. Oh, that is next weekend. So you guys better get you guys stuff together for these females out there, these mothers out there that are doing a good job. So we wanted to appreciate the mothers out there. We're going to extend the blood work next week just for them. So if you guys want the blood work, you guys got to sign up today. You guys got to call or text, sign up, see what we can do here. At that point, we're going to be able to get IGF-1 too as the therapy of the week.
Yes.
Insulin-like growth factor, long-lasting LR3. So at that point, this is going to help you guys from so many different things. Anti-aging effect, building lean mass, losing body weight, improved libido, improved skin, hair, nails, all the great things that go with growth hormone.
And there's one thing that I can't put my finger on. It just makes your body look different. I can't explain it. When I took IGF, my body just looked different. It just looked better. It just looked tighter all around. So from a cosmetic standpoint, I couldn't really put my finger on. I know I was leaner and I felt better. My recovery was better, but I just had a polished look. I don't know. So bodybuilders out there, if you're interested in trying it, figuring out what it does to the mirror, for me, it just made everything look better. I had more muscle detail. Stuff was fuller. It just, I can't explain it, but it just, certain days where you wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror, you feel great. You don't know what it is. It might be IGF related. That's how I felt pretty much all the time once it finally kicked in. It took about 2-3 weeks to get going, but once it was going, I felt good on it.
It was awesome, for sure. It's definitely a great feeling. It's something you can stay on for a limited amount of time, a couple months, then you get off and you can go right back on if you want to. Let's talk about some of these different comments we got up here. So we got one question. What fat burner is good? IG Navara. I hope I said that right. If not, I'm sorry. What fat burner is good? So we've got multiple options for fat burning. I mean, you can go from ECA Stack Plus, right? It's a little capsule, ephedrine, aspirin, chromium, B12. And at that point, That's a capsule you can take, different dosages for different people if you have a sensitivity to stimulants. And if you have cardiovascular issues and you do have problems with stimulants, then we can talk about AOD 9604. It's a great weight loss peptide. Or semaglutide or tirzepatide. These are going to be the best. But we want to know more about your medical history.
Or even testosterone too. One of the newer ones, testosterone have is good for lean.
True.
Help you burn fat too. So, I mean, there's a combination of stuff you could take. And like we've said before, ask if you can take 2 different things at once.
Yep.
So if you guys want an ultimate, make your own stack. We have our own stacks over here too. But if you want to make your own stack, say if you wanted to do IGF with ECA, and semaglutide, make sure you call and see if you could do all those things.
Yeah.
But chances are you can.
Absolutely.
So you might as well. I mean, the way I am, if I'm going to spend money on something, I might as well get 2 or 3 different things.
Sure.
And take them all at once.
Sure.
That way I get the most bang for my buck out of it.
Maximum results. Mark Torres just finished BPC 157. Titan Complete. I'd like to take Titan Complete and Hercules Potion next. I'm 58, 6 days a week. Results are great. What are your thoughts for the next round? So definitely, these are going to be great ones to complement each other. Titan Complete, Hercules Potion. You could put in testosterone maybe if you want some better results. At 58, maybe raise that growth hormone up a little bit and attack that belly fat. This is another good one for you. At that point, our Titan Strong injectable will be dropping for you guys. I'm going to relaunch that, which is just branched chain amino acids, which in the Titan Complete you already have, so you don't need that. So if you need some energy, ECA Stack Plus. Also looking at blood work, maybe hormones might be off or whatever it might be. Mark, we just want to help you out. Make sure you are dialed in and ready to go at all times.
Also, I'd say too, Mark, what are your goals in taking all this stuff? Sometimes people want to gain weight, lose weight, muscle, fat burn. So what are your goals? It says you finished the BPC 157. I don't want to assume, but a lot of times people take that if they have any type of pain or injury. So what are your overall goals? We can give you a better idea of what we have here at Titan that can get you there.
Absolutely. Jesse, what's going on? How you doing? Todd. I was with Transcend for 6 months, and they charged me $1,800 per month.
What were you getting?
So this is a problem out there. I just want to take just one little minute. All right. So this has been an ongoing issue. This is why. I mean, we're getting a ton of Transcend patients, and I don't even want to say their name. We get a ton of this clinic's patients, and it's because they're nailing people for 4 to 6 months at one time, and some of these people, we're talking about almost $10,000 a month. I don't know anybody that's going to be able to, that's like $30,000, $40,000 up front.
I'm not sure. What are they? I don't know. I mean, maybe they're overselling. Maybe they're trying to sell them everything. They don't need it.
That's
what. I'm so interested to find out what you were getting for $1,800 per month. I mean, some people don't like to save. If you don't mind letting us know, just to give me an idea. I mean, that's. There's no way it could just be HRT.
Yeah, definitely not. No way. No way. I know they're charging testimony almost $1,000, which I think ours is $650 or something like that. So, it just is what it is. I am Jimmy Dean. Big Drew, I need that tea.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's one of the new teas.
It's one of the new ones. I've heard it I've heard it probably 3 or 4 times.
Get out of here.
On my way over here,
Boom,
in
baby.
In the elevator at the store, people are like, I got tea. I was like, okay.
Okay, nice.
It worked.
Yeah, we did good. We did good. All right.
It worked.
All right, awesome.
It's salmon. It's not pink. It's salmon.
No, and you know what?
If you guys see it in person, you'll see that it's not really like pink.
No.
So no one's called it pink yet. If it was pink, I probably wouldn't have it on.
I wouldn't have it
salmon.
on.
It's salmon.
But
so just letting you guys know, it's salmon.
The first day I got them, I did a video real quick and I posted it to let everybody know we got new shirts in. And my dad wrote me immediately afterwards. And he goes, listen, man. He goes, you've never wore a pink shirt. What is going on? I go, Dad, this is not a pink shirt.
It's salmon.
It's salmon. It's like a light reddish, but it's not pink, I promise you. Listen, if you want to wear pink, no problems. Yeah. But that's just something that I
if
never
you
do.
Want to wear pink,
right. If you want to wear pink, that's fine. I just never have. Yeah. Okay, all right. So next one. Does the test for men include testosterone levels? Absolutely. So when I talk about a full in-depth test, I'll go over it with you guys. A comprehensive metabolic panel, CMP, that's liver, kidneys, electrolytes. A CBC, which is a complete blood cell count, white blood cell count, red blood cell count, hemoglobin, hematocrit. And then we talk about your thyroid, a full in-depth thyroid, T3, T4, TSH, which is your thyroid stimulating hormone. We talk about a full cholesterol panel, total cholesterol, triglycerides, LDL, HDL, which is bad cholesterol, good cholesterol, and the ratio to make sure that you're good there. And then for guys, PSA, prostate, we want to make sure that's good. And then free and total testosterone levels. progesterone levels, estradiol levels, IGF-1 levels, which are growth hormone levels, and B12 levels. This is all in your 130 package. So much for you guys. Bang for the buck.
Yeah.
You guys, you know.
So if you want to replay that and list everything he just said per item, 130. That's cheap.
You get a lot.
Real cheap.
You're getting a lot. The most inexpensive.
Inexpensive. Yeah. Not cheap. Inexpensive.
I hate using that word.
I don't want to say cheap because it's quality.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of bang for the buck.
You're getting quality at an inexpensive price.
The most inexpensive in-depth blood test, apples to apples, guaranteed. And if you find something different, apples to apples, you let me know, and I'll discount it even more for you guys.
Yeah. Hogs on Deck's got a good question. Said, what do you think of MK677 and a 150 BPC 157 stack? Yeah, I would say that's a good one. And what's good with that too is your joints are going to feel real good on that because you're going to get a little bit of water lubrication with the MK, and then the BPC with the healing effects. So if you're someone that likes to go heavy like I do, or if you just don't work out at all, you want to like feel good. That's definitely going to help you. It's going to help you grow in the gym, help you lift big weight. Be hungry. You're going to be hungry a lot. So.
I agree with this totally. It's BPC 157 is going to be good for the joints, ligaments, tendons, and muscles, all that preventative if you don't have any injuries. So that's a great mix. And we talk about MK677. So, ibutamoren, this is a great therapy. It's an oral GHRH, oral capsule. It's the only oral GHRH out there, and it works really well. It's going to stimulate the hunger hormone. You're going to eat a lot. If you don't want to eat a lot, you want to take it right before bed. Strength should improve. 2 caveats I say: make sure you're going to eat clean, or you got a good plan together what you're going to do. Drink a lot of water. Somebody wrote me in my inbox the other day. I said, John, I'm taking BPC or I'm taking MK677, and I just introduced Rad 140. Everybody's telling me I look, a bit fluffy and my cheeks are puffy.
That's a lot of water retention with those two.
So I go, hey, listen, you're talking about a lot of water retention doing these things alone, but then I have to ask you, how's the diet, right? And how's the water intake? And then the guy writes me back, well, I have no diet. I'm like, well, that's the problem right there. I go, fix that, get the water in, and, I would eliminate maybe the RAD and just go with the MK and just ride that boat, just to see where you're at and get everything stabilized.
And a lot of times when you hear about side effects or, water retention, if you take 2 different things at the same time, usually it's based off someone that doesn't have a diet. So I've found when I eat clean all the time, I can kind of get away with taking 2 different things where I gain a little bit of water because everything else is clean. So you got to have that factor that in as well. If you're eating like pre-contest bodybuilder, super clean, dry fish and everything, then it may not have an effect on you. But like John said, if you're just an average person, pretty much, you eat somewhat healthy, but not like all the time, and you're having, sodium, your sodium's high, so that's going to help too. So concern with water retention, limit your sodium. Clean up your diet and then see if it does it. But for chances are, your ankles are gonna get big. Your face may get a little bit puffy. And even though it's not technically fat, it's not good for your blood pressure when you're carrying all that water on your body.
Definitely not. That will increase your blood pressure into levels you don't want it at. So the other one was about the shirt. So if you guys want the shirt that Big Drew has on, you guys can call or text in. I'm taking the photos for these, and I'll have them up on the website hopefully in the next week or so. But call or text, say you want the salmon red T-shirt, and we'll be able to get it out for you guys, all right?
It won't shrink or fade either. It's good material.
Yes.
Like, so many different T-shirts have so many different materials. There's like,
Remember I was worried about
there's
that?
the cheap ones. There's a nicer one. This is quality material. Like it's quality.
It's nice, right?
It's not just regular stretched out, wear it one time and shrinks T-shirt.
Definitely not. Test for 240 weekly and Remedex. My test was... This is all the same guy. My test was...
a weekly?
Yeah. 240 weekly, yeah. So, I mean...
He was paying 400... Wait, 900? Wait a minute.
No. Test 240 weekly, so he's probably taking 240 milligrams.
Oh, I thought you meant the price, because there was that guy over there that said 1,800.
My test was 181. They tried to talk me into clomiphene and ATG. So at that point, listen, with that testosterone level, as long as health-wise you're okay, then, dude, you should probably be on testosterone replacement therapy at that level, depending on your age and all the health factors. If everything lines up there, you should be on testosterone replacement therapy. Per month for us, it's going to be, if you're out of state, testosterone, a Remedex, your gonadal support like enclomiphene, all your syringes, needles, medical review, shipping, all that is like $375 for an out-of-state patient. So very, very inexpensive to what you're paying for sure, 100%. And guaranteed we're going to give you way better support than you're probably getting right now.
You're gonna get more support than you probably ever got.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, I'm here all the time, and I'm still getting messages and texts and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, Drew," I'm like, "I just saw you 10 minutes ago." Shout out to Jimmy Dean too. Said lost more weight, 327 down to 279.
Yeah,
That's
big
crazy.
True, a big motivator.
Appreciate it, Jimmy Dean. Keep going, man.
That's
Keep going.
awesome.
Would you say what lab do you use?
Yeah. All right, so
Oh.
what lab do we use? We use multiple labs. We can do these tests anywhere in the States, anywhere. So if you can't get it, call or contact us. We'll set it up, and at that point, you'll be good to go. All right? So if you're looking for blood testing and you can't get it in your area, you don't think you can get it, or whatever's going on, you call or text us. We'll set it up. No problem.
Yeah, there's places all over there. I mean, I hear places I've never even heard of a lot too, like
Yeah.
other states and stuff like that.
Yep.
Johnny just said they call it pink sim, and I buy it at ShopRite.
Yeah. What else we got here? So, man, we got some really good ones.
Chewy 0444 said everyone really need 8 eyes. Not necessarily, but chances are if you will.
Yeah.
If you start HRT, I mean, if your testosterone levels low, say 200-300, and we're trying to get it to 800-900, just that jump in your testosterone normally tweaks your estrogen a little bit.
Yep.
So chances are you will need one, but again, everyone's different. The doctors will tell you that.
Absolutely.
Or your blood work will tell you that as well, with your estrogen on there.
What about metal therapy? So we don't do any sort of metal
what is
therapy. Like they've got like
I've never even heard of that.
not mercury, because mercury would be toxic, but they have some sort of metal therapies I've seen out there. Most people are trying to get like these metal blood tests done to see if they have higher levels of mercury and stuff like that. As far as metal therapy, we don't do anything like that. Goal, lose weight.
What's up, Stacy? Stacy's on there.
Big shout out to Stacy. What up? How you doing, girl? We miss you. There is any guarantee? So there's no guarantee. Come on, we can't guarantee. We can't like make you go to the gym, make you eat right, make you sleep right, take the therapies, and guarantee what you're going to get as a result.
Guarantee for what? In everything? Or?
There's no guarantee in life.
Oh,
I don't know what to say, but I can highly probably tell you it's going to happen. Well, let's put it that way.
We have a good question right there by, what is it, Jim Elliott, _ Jim Elliott.
Yep.
So what's up, guys? I had recently heard that DECA might help torn labrum. Is that true? Going to start Titans BPC 147 TB500. Should I throw in the DECA too? No, DECA is not going to help. It's not going to help heal anything. What it's going to do is it's going to lubricate the pain so you don't feel it.
Yep.
So it'll take the pain away, but it's basically just going to add fluid to that area. Whereas when you start taking BPC 157 and TB500, it's going to actually repair the connective and tissue and ligaments. So it's going to fix the problem.
Yep.
So I would say I wouldn't take the DECA. I probably wouldn't take it ever.
Yeah.
Now that there's better stuff. That's kind of old school. But
Right.
back in the day before they had all this stuff, the only thing they could do is take that. I don't feel anything anymore. But now those guys like need surgery because they grinded that bone for so long. So
It's true.
I would just don't take the nandrolone or DECA, which is pretty much the same thing, and I would just say ride out the BPC 157 TB500, and chances are it will slowly start healing itself to make the pain go away, rather than just mask it to make the pain go away.
Jim, this is the better option for you, right? Because I'm bone on bone on my shoulder.
Oof.
All right, you got a torn labrum. That's cool. BPC 157.
Oh, I didn't see torn. Whoa.
Yeah, BPC 157 TB500. That's going to be the route to go. The nandrolone is going to mask the pain, like Drew said, for a limited amount of time. When you get off it, that masking is going to go away. Yeah. And you don't want to mask over the pain because at that point you're going to be working through it, and you might be pushing where you don't want to be pushing, right? Or going too far. The other thing about this is if you want another route to go to take away the pain per se, I'd probably go and get a cortisone shot. One cortisone. Don't overdo cortisone because that's going to mess you up too. But if you do one cortisone shot and you start taking BPC 157 TB500 and start rehabilitating it, you'll probably get back and you should be good to go. Yeah. But that's what I would do. So the nandrolone is possibly going to put bad weight on you, water retention, raise prolactin levels. I mean, there's some different things that can be happening.
Yeah, you got to worry about erectile dysfunction with DECA. And not only that, one single shot of nandrolone, which is DECA, could stay in your system for like 6, 8, 9 months. Yeah. So like John said, you get the cortisone shot right to that specific area. You don't have to worry about everything else. That's a good idea.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Just take it easy once you get the cortisone because you're going to want to go crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I got cortisone shots in my shoulders when doing 100-pound laterals 2 days later, and I was like, wait a minute, let me slow down a little bit. Let me slow down.
will mask the pain too.
You'll feel like He-Man in the gym.
You will.
You got to work out with someone and tell them, look, I have a bad shoulder. Don't make me go heavy.
Yes. Do you know anyone with multiple sclerosis that are on peptides? Absolutely. There's multiple different peptides that could help, or even talk about NAD therapy. NAD therapy, injectable therapy, can definitely help. I know there's people out there that we have patients that have multiple sclerosis, and at that point, I think one of our different athletes actually does. So it's something that could possibly help for sure. Tight Medical, yes, from Justin Raymond. How do I order a blood test for men? My husband is overdue for blood work. All you guys have to do is call or text 727-389-3220. That is our main line and only line. And that's the way you can set up blood work nationwide for yourself, for your husband, for your girlfriend, for your boyfriend, for your brother, your sister, whoever may need this. Or maybe, you want to get them a gift, right? It's their birthday coming up. We have gift cards you can do, or you can just set it all up.
It's a perfect Father's Day gift. Father's Day is coming up next month.
And Mother's Day.
Yep, Mother's Day too.
Yeah.
But it's good for Father's Day too, because guys, men, we don't go to the doctor. We're like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. Just like this lady said, her husband's due for blood work. If it wasn't for her, he'd probably be like, yeah, I'm not worried about it. That's wives, they take care of that. So they remind the guys. So Father's Day is coming to be a perfect gift for guys out there that are, husbands or sons or daughters that like, yeah, my dad's always has a headache, but he never goes to the doctor or something like that. That's happens a lot. So
that's the worst.
Yeah. Gift cards available too here at Titan Medical too.
Gift cards available for sure. So we're not available overseas, not just yet. And then Jarrett Finley asked, what are the side effects? We're going to have to ask what therapy are you talking about. We can talk about side effects. Jimmy Light said, awesome. Thanks, guys. I trust Titan 100%.
Nice.
Dr. Cooper said, appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. David Hensley said, let's go. Appreciate it, brother. Happy Friday to you. And then Jimmy Light asked, John, what's your daily regimen when it comes to peptides, etc.? We're going to talk about a big regimen. I was like,
man has he's got a legendary backpack.
So to start my day, right now my regimen as it looks like, I get up in the morning, I take IGF-1 therapy, I take BPC 157, TB 500 every day for my shoulder. After that, I'm taking AOD right now because I'm doing like a little bit of a cut. I don't want to cut up too much. So at that point, I'm cutting up there. And then right now, I'm taking Epitalon. So Epitalon's like an anti-aging thing that you only take maybe 2 times a year. And it's supposed to basically delay genetic onslaught of disease that you have in your DNA. So at that point, hopefully lasting longer without catching cancer or any of these other things. So I'm starting that right now. And then obviously throughout my day, I got Hercules. In the morning, it's Titan Complete. Hercules, like 4 to 6 shots in the afternoon. And then I'll take IGF-1 again in the afternoon. That's what my regimen looks like right now.
ECA in there too?
Well, I didn't even go through my full regimen. Just the morning, afternoon injections. But it will change. So let's say like next week, what I will do is I'll be done with the Epitalon because you only shoot it for like 7 to 10 days. I'll incorporate thymosin alpha-1 for my immune system. I always like to put that in there at least every other week. So I'll switch up some of the peptides, and I'll take those like in place of. AOD I'll finish out this month in May. And then at that point, next month, I'll be back on testosterone because I was on testosterone these last 30 days. I want to see how I felt on it, how it reacted, and all that good stuff. And I loved it. That and Matsi, I put them together, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
How was the BPC coming back from the shoulder injury that you had?
So BPC 157, TB 500, that's helped me out so much, guys. And I'm talking about for at least like 6-7 years.
Yeah, and it was recently too. It wasn't like this is 10 years ago. He recently had his shoulder. Yeah. He's recently back in the gym.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Finally, I'm back, man.
It was pretty quick because, like,
I was like,
next thing you know, he's back in the gym. People are like, he owns a medical company. That's the reason why he was able to get back in the gym so much. Yeah. I'm like, so you need to get some BPC. And
absolutely.
That's just knowledge right there.
Absolutely. So. What would you recommend for fibromyalgia? Fibromyalgia, man. This is a big one out there right now. So fibromyalgia, I would definitely do NAD. NAD is another big one, or even thymosin alpha-1 and mixing the two. At that point, that should definitely help you feel better because people with fibromyalgia, they get fatigued very quickly. Like they're out there and oh man, I can't do it. I gotta lay down.
They get lethargic.
So it's almost like chronic fatigue syndrome, which is CFS, is what I'm thinking. And at that point, NAD has been the go-to for this, revitalizing ATP, helping the mitochondria, and then helping repair the body at the cellular level. So that's definitely going to be it. Rocker Stylist said his regimen is tight and complete, glutathione, BPC 157. That's his daily regimen in the morning.
What screen is he on? Oh, there he is.
Yeah, right there. That's a good one. It's definitely a good one for sure. I mean, if you
That's
guys,
a good daily regimen.
yeah, that's a good daily regimen for sure. I mean, you got your B vitamins, you got MIC in there, branch chains, L-carnitine, glutathione, super antioxidant.
And when you're
BPC.
taking it, I'm assuming in the morning. I don't know what it is. Everybody likes to take it in the morning. I actually talked to one person maybe a month or so ago that said they do everything right before they go to bed.
Really?
And I was like, that's kind of weird. And they were just like, that's the only way I can remember because this and my schedule and all this other stuff. So I was like, hey, I mean, if it's working for you, as long as you're sleeping okay and not,
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of times guys don't like to take HRT before they go to bed.
Yeah.
Right before, usually in the morning.
Yeah.
Especially depending on what muscle you put it in. You don't want to put it into something and then just lay and not move it around a little bit. So,
That's key. And
like tell guys don't do a glute injection and then sit in a truck and drive a semi for 10 hours.
Definitely not.
Don't move it around a little bit. Go for a walk.
Definitely
like
not.
massage it in. Yeah.
So let me explain why you would take most of these in the morning, right? Because there's a science behind this. One, the science is if you're taking a GHRH like CJC or whatever in the morning, the best time to take it is on an empty stomach. It's the best time to take it. 45 minutes before you eat, if you can take it, boom, done. The other good thing about it is well, if you're taking testosterone, obviously it gets, and this is all injections, they get time to disperse. And you're using these muscles and they start flowing through there a lot better than just sitting there all night in one spot if you're sleeping.
Yeah.
The effectiveness goes through the day too as well. So at that point, you're getting the benefits through the day of these things. Now, if it's a GHRH at night or something like that, I totally understand. And listen, if that's the only way you can do it, like Drew said, I guess that works for you. But for most people out there, I would definitely recommend the morning time.
I've always been a morning time person too. Every time I take mine stuff.
So we've got one more. We'll go back to Instagram. Let's go to TikTok. I have shoulder issues from years of wrestling and grappling. So BPC 157, TB 500, they're going to be game changers for you. Jake from State Farm. If you take, and you know what's funny, is my rep that owns his State Farm franchise, his name's Jake. So this is funny. I'm like, you're Jake from State Farm. All right, so if you take TRT and do a cycle, do you need to do PCT since you're already taking TRT? So no. If you're taking hormone replacement therapy, now you should be on some gonadal support anyway, like enclomiphene or ATG or something like that. And then you need to be looking at aromatase inhibitor. So, I don't know what you're adding as a cycle. That could be meant so many.
Yeah, I would
different
also
things.
say too, just get your blood work done again. If people are always wondered, like when they stop or start a regimen or cycle, whatever they want to call it, they always they'll get their blood work done. They'll get everything done going into it.
Yep.
And then while they're on whatever thing they're taking, they don't check it, and then they just stop, and then they start Google searching to figure out what to do now.
Yep.
I would rather just get your blood work done once you come off of everything. That way you can see where you're at to figure out if PCT isn't even necessary. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you're just kind of just guessing off of, making your own assumption of what you took and how long and your friend's blood work. So like I always say, just if you don't know, get your blood work done. That's the easiest way to see, because anything you need, if there's a reason to take to be on PCT, which is post-cycle therapy, it's going to show on your blood work.
Right.
It's always going to show on your blood work.
But here's the thing. If you're on TRT and you're staying on TRT, there is no post-cycle therapy. The reason people do a post-cycle therapy is because they're taking some sort of anabolic, whether it's testosterone, whatever it is, and let's say testosterone, and they're going for short times, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever it is. Then they stop the testosterone because they want to pump on their natural production again. So that's what post-cycle therapy does. Right. It re-stimulates the natural function of the body, or it's supposed to. And at that point, then they get back to normal ranges. So with this, PCT shouldn't even be a question. Yeah. We should be talking about, do you need an aromatase inhibitor? And when was the last time you did the blood test? We should definitely check the blood to make sure everything's right, like Drew said, for sure, 100%.
Yeah, because it sounds like people are doing TRT. When a lot of times people say TRT, that just means they're doing a low-dose testosterone.
Yep.
So if you're doing low-dose testosterone and then you add a cycle, which is something maybe that isn't prescribed that you got from somewhere, then you're trying to make your own assessment. So it's kind of like, I know a lot of times people say if I'm doing TRT, everything's fine. But if I take 1,000 milligrams of some illegal thing, is it going to bring me even lower now? So then I need to make my own, and that's kind of seems where he's going. So like John said, you probably won't need one. Just again, blood work's going to show.
Yeah, for sure. Acorn Horn. How does carnivore diet affect the lipid panel. I had been on carnivore and got blood drawn recently. My lipids are high. So lipids are high. All right. So was it total cholesterol that was high? Was there LDL that was high? You know, when we talk about the carnivore diet, I've seen this with a couple different people. I eat a lot of meat, right? And my cholesterol is good. Now, I eat very lean pieces of meat. The problem with carnivore diet for some people is they think, oh, I'll just eat any meat, and this is the part of the carnivore diet.
Fatty, garbage, ground beef, and cheapest chicken or whatever.
Even this, think about this, right? You go to some steakhouses and real high-end ones, and you look at the menu, and you look at the steaks and fillets, maybe $55 to $70 to $100, depending on where you're at. And then you look at the Wagyu. And the Wagyu is 100, 1,000, just depends where you go. Yeah. I would rather have a filet mignon than any Wagyu steak out there. The reason is because Wagyu is mostly fat.
Yeah. That's all that juice and what they call flavor.
They call flavor.
I like meat flavor, not fat flavor.
Exactly. People are like, filet don't have no flavor. Are you kidding me? I can eat filet without any sauce on it. Yeah. Like a pinch of salt, pinch of pepper, and I probably can't even taste that. So you probably just leave that off too as well. Yep. I don't want butter on it either.
And a lot of times when people do carnivore diet, they're doing all meat, so they season it up so much. So they're loading it with sodium, loading with all the seasonings and sauces, and that could be it's not the food, it's how you're being prepared.
Yeah.
So with the oils and sauces and sodium,
yes,
and, whatever it is that they're using. I mean, if you have plain steak with nothing on it, maybe like John said, a little bit of pink salt, sea salt, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna have that problem.
I don't think so either. And we didn't even find out what you're eating in your carnivore diet. But, I mean, listen, if something's not working there, then you might want to just switch it up. I mean, turkey's very lean.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Drew eating the hell out of turkey.
I ate turkey I'm on my red meat now, but I was on turkey for
a long time.
Almost 2 or 3 years straight.
I remember.
Like literally ground turkey and rice every meal except for, my oatmeal, eggs in the morning, whatever.
I remember.
And then now it's pretty much the same thing, rice and steak every meal except for my eggs and oatmeal and fruit in the morning.
That's the best for sure.
Hey, if it ain't broke, just keep riding it out.
Definitely. Rocker Star said, I feel like having the BPC twice daily has not only helped reduce the achy pain, but improved my flexibility in the shoulder, 100% mobility. He also said that it's healed his shoulder for sure, 100%. Judy Meyer said, how much for female blood work and how often? So female blood work, the special right now is $200, and for you females, we're going to extend that, but it's going to cover so many different tests, and we would recommend doing it every 3 to 6 months. If everything's all right, 6 months. If there's problems or things that we need to work at or maybe tweak, maybe 3 months. But that's definitely it. For hormone optimization, we're definitely going to do every 6 months guaranteed. Now, if you called up and you say, listen, I'm having some I'm having some different things that they're not working right, I'm not feeling it, whatever it is, then we might want to just blood test you for a free and total testosterone, and total estrogens, and an estradiol, just to see where everything's at. And then we have to tweak doses. We can tweak doses. But once we find your dose and you're feeling good, we're going to lock you in at that dose, and you're going to be ready to rock and roll. And you won't have to change anything as long as you're consistent with the medication. All right. What else we got here? Shauna Purcell. There is family high cholesterol equals genetics. If you have excessive belly fat, you have insulin resistance, and the body takes extra protein and converts to glucose, worsening lipids and insulin resistance. So, yes, on the insulin resistance, and you can have genetics as far as cholesterol problems. Insulin resistance is a big one.
If that was the case, testosterone would be perfect for something like that because it's going to target that specific area.
Yes. You're going to target belly fat to get the belly fat down. They say most people that are obese or are on their way, overweight, these are prime candidates to pre-diabetic and diabetes type 2 patients, and this is insulin resistance coming along with that and all these different things. So at that point, listen, shrink your body fat on your body, and you'll be healthier too as well. So it's a good point, Sean. I like it for sure, 100%. Jake from State Farm, I like the George one on there. Any other questions? All right, so we'll wait for your questions if you guys got any more or comments. And we've got 2,600 people on here right now. That's awesome.
That's a lot.
I think we had 4,000 at one point. This guy's awesome. All right, so let's talk about some of our topics today. Let's get into the main one I want to talk to you right now about
What's that?
Jordan or LeBron James. Who's the GOAT and why?
Yeah. Who's the GOAT and why?
All right. So me and Drew have had this private conversation before about who is the GOAT. And this has been a big, big controversy for years now. Who's better, Jordan or LeBron, and why? Yeah. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
The thing is, for me to go first, I would have to have one or the other. I would have to say who is the GOAT.
Okay.
For my entire life up until maybe 3 months ago, I was Jordan's go.
Yeah.
But now after hearing, it's not just like I'm jumping on what other
Yeah.
people think, because I'm actually putting like reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
Because, you hear the stats on Jordan and blah, blah, blah. Now there's people fighting that. So I've been listening almost every night, podcasts, YouTube videos.
Yep.
And I'm sitting here thinking like, wow, was he really? I mean, it's my era. The guy watched him. I've seen Come Fly With Me, Jordan Rules.
Yep.
Used to go play, want to be like him and all that stuff.
Yep.
But now after seeing, LeBron James he's still at the top of his game. And the thing is, yesterday someone said, has LeBron James ever averaged 35 points a season? And someone was like, he hasn't even come within 10 points of it. But he's averaged 25 points a season for 20 years. Mm-hmm. So when you hear certain stuff like that, it's like, if it was the other way around and LeBron played back then and Jordan was now, people would say that that Jordan isn't the GOAT because he didn't play as long as LeBron did.
I don't know.
When you I don't know.
The reason I say that, and I'll let you finish.
And Jordan lost a lot in the beginning of it. People always say he's 6-0 in the championship, 6-0 in the championship. He got swept a lot in the beginning. Like I saw a stat the other day that said he got swept. He's been swept more than any player in his first. And not only that, people always talk about the GOAT because of his numbers and championships. Victor Wemby right now is doing something that no one's ever done. No one's ever had the points in the same season as the blocks, and no one's ever made. Victor Wemby has made more threes than Curry in his first year. He's had the most rebounds of anybody and the most blocks of anybody. So if you want to talk GOAT, we have to literally, even though he's there, throw him in that because no one's ever done that.
He's first year.
But no one's ever done what he's done, just like no one's ever done what Jordan's done.
Listen, I agree with you totally on the Mbama.
Because I was like diehard Jordan. And even when I watch his highlights, I'm like, yeah, he was. But then I'm like, man,
yeah, so
he was the only one with a package back then.
Mostly everybody on here is saying Jordan. So far, it's on here.
Yeah.
All right, so this is my breakdown, all right? And I might be biased because I'm from Chicago area and I love Michael Jordan. I've been through all those championships and lived them. So at that point, I'm going to say Jordan. Now, of course, LeBron has played longer, right? Because he went in the league when he was in high school. He left high school and went right to the league. Yeah. Where Jordan went to college, and what did Jordan do? Jordan hit the game-winning shot for the NCAA championship. That's something LeBron will never have. He'll never have a college championship, right? So that's just one aspect. It doesn't matter now because he'll never be able to do it. 2, Jordan, listen, in '85 when he came in, all right, he broke his foot. Okay, so he was out pretty much a season. When he came back, '87, '88, all right, fine, he didn't win. '89, '90, he did, and then from then they just boom, it just kept going. Yeah. The other thing with Jordan is that LeBron has not done, and I've discussed with you before, was he doesn't even have some of the different accolades that Jordan's done. In one season, Jordan won the dunk contest, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, scoring title, right? League MVP. This is all within 1 year. And this isn't just 1 year that he did this. He did this multiple years. And then he got more rings. He never had super teams. Now, you can argue that Scottie Pippen was there, and Scottie Pippen was one of the best players Phil Jackson said.
Top 50 player ever.
I definitely agree to that, 100%, that he did have Pippen in the beginning. And but honestly, the supporting cast after that, they were, Horace Grant, you could say, hey, listen, he was decent, right?
But he had sharpshooters. He had B.J. Armstrong, he had Steve Kerr. He had sharpshooters.
But those guys were nothing like that.
Steve Kerr won the NBA 3 contests a few years, I think. He
might have won it, but what did he do in games? When you're sitting there and you're going
B.J. Armstrong did a lot in games. He used to drain.
B.J. Armstrong used to do it. Listen, Steve Kerr hits the big shots. If you really want to talk about somebody, because back in the day, it was John Paxton. Dennis Rodman was later on, and that listen, the three of them.
Horace Grant was.
I think that was maybe one of your super teams.
Tony Kukoc.
No, that was later on. That was later on. Yeah. In the beginning, it was Cartwright, Paxton, Horace Grant, Pippen, Jordan. And I'm trying to think. That was it. That was your cast. That was your main cast you seen out there, and then nobody else on the team was any good. There was Craig Hodges, who was a hell of a three-point shooter and all that.
See, the thing with Jordan is I think he's the best player ever, But I think he's the best player ever. But the only thing I don't like is when people start throwing stats out there like that makes a difference. That's the only thing I'm saying. Like, I think he's the best player ever, but when people are like, oh, well, he's 6-0 and this and that, I'm like, well, what about Wilt Chamberlain? What about Bill Russell? Like, the only thing I don't like is when people throw numbers.
Jordan
like
said,
when people are like, oh yeah, he won this year and this year, this year. Like, players now don't even do the dunk contest if they're like they do sometimes
because they're worried about load management.
But the thing is, if Jordan played in this era, he wouldn't do the dunk contest either. It's because it's the whole era thing. Like, his coaches would probably be telling him, hey, you don't need to do it, or you don't want to get injured, or he might not have played in the dream team because his coach or agent might. Because now it's like different. Like back then, guys played everything. They played in the All-American games. They played in the All-Star. They played in the USA. They played in the dunk, the three.
I think the difference is, the love of the game.
Like now you see the guys that win the dunk contest, they're like guys that we don't even know they played. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's totally taken away from it. And that's why not that many people watch the dunk contest anymore. Because they don't see their fan favorite playing.
Because they can just watch it later on YouTube. That's like me.
Well, that's the other thing. But I really don't want to. Listen, the All-Star Weekend has lost, to me, all the flair of what it had. It just is what it is. Look at the game and how high it's scoring. But getting off point here. So listen, Jordan even said that if it was all about stats, I would not have retired in '93, and I would just be worried about it. He was more worried about how he looked as far as his legacy is in games, and then rings. Obviously, that was the big thing he said. For me, listen, LeBron, I think, has an advantage in so many different ways. He spends a hell of a lot more in recovery. Yeah, he's worried about his body, which is creating the longevity for him. So I think he's on the right track for that. I don't think Jordan had that much.
There's a lot of players that spend big money on their body, but they're just not that good, and then they don't go that long. So I could see if no one.
You're talking about Michael Jordan, who used to go after the game, go smoke cigars, drink, and play cards, and then get back up and then go to the game.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if LeBron would have done that, people would have been like, "Oh, Jordan never smoked cigars." They would, you know what I'm saying? When Jordan does something, it's like, "Oh, it's Jordan." If someone else does it, it's like, if LeBron would have do that, they'd say, in other words, if it was the opposite, people would say, "You would never see Jordan go to the bar and smoke a cigar." LeBron's never even gotten in trouble in anything. He's never had no adultery stuff. He's never had no.
The reason they never did it to Jordan, never said anything to Jordan, is because they couldn't. He won every series.
Yeah.
There was no, well, you guys lost, and the reason you lost is because you were out drinking or doing this. Think about the super teams.
How does that make him? Like, in other words, that's what he chose to do. Like,
I'm not saying it's better.
LeBron might be doing crazy stuff that we just don't even know about. There could be players that they're doing drugs. That doesn't mean for sure. That doesn't mean he's the GOAT just because he could go out and smoke cigars.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Two totally different lifestyles as far as that goes, and it was just a lot different. Like, I know Jordan's trainer or was trainer, right? He was a good friend, and at that point, he told me, he's like, listen, Jordan had the killer instinct, and I think that's the difference between that, because LeBron in his era, he had to go make a super team, and this is the super team era, that people were just trading teams to get it, to get the rings, and that's what it is. And it took LeBron a long time to do this. It took him Shaq, it took him Dwayne, and it took him Pat Riley to get this. You know what I'm saying?
See, Kobe had that killer instinct too, though.
Kobe had the killer instinct.
Kobe was the closest person I've seen to Jordan. The way he played, his instinct, even the way his swagger, the way he When Kobe first came on, I was like, he's just trying to be Jordan. Like, everything he did, the way he fadeaway, everything was just the way he talked to people's interviews, the way he dressed, everything was Jordan. So Kobe had that instinct. So I don't know. The only thing with LeBron is I don't see is he might have the instinct, but we're not seeing it. Like, he doesn't have that Kevin Garnett energy where he's just always bouncing. And he's just so athletic and strong and fast that he just.
It's true.
Even right now, he's still one of the most athletic players in the league. He's 21st year in the league. So that's insane. And the other people in the NBA, they can get all those same treatments. So it's not like these guys don't have money to take care of their body and have their own meals and nutritionists and yoga, Pilates, whatever they need, BPC, whatever they need. Like, everyone has that ability now. So certain people like Tom Brady and LeBron James, they could do it for 20 years. That's what sets them apart to everyone else, because everyone else has access to that same stuff. Now.
Technology, science has changed.
Why is LeBron the only one? Why is Tom Brady the only one that could do it 20 years later and still be, you know.
Listen, so Shauna put on here LeBron's on hormone optimization.
He's definitely.
I can tell you guys, it is legal if they get a doctor to sign that they can do TRT. So there's a lot of people in the leagues that are doing these things, which, listen, that's fine, right? I mean, it is what it is. You play by the rules. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm sure NFL guys, baseball, all those elbow injuries.
If we could have optimized Jordan,
Woo!
I'm just saying. So, listen, they're both great players. I would not take the credit away from LeBron as a player. As a person, as a player, definitely. But I still, at this point, I still think Jordan outrules LeBron, especially after losing in the first round of the playoffs this year. Yeah. How do you lose the first round of playoffs?
But the thing is, when Jordan came back and played for the Wizards, he was garbage, and no one said anything. People were just like, "Oh yeah, well he's old now." LeBron in his 21st year still leads his team this far, and is still top of the league in scoring.
The only reason he went to the Wizards is because he was an owner, and then he wanted to get the fans to come in. So he then signed off of his ownership, played. And then was supposed to get back his ownership. They never gave it back to him.
No, what I'm saying is, think about this. LeBron's 21 years in the league, and people are saying, how do you lose? Because he's been doing it. If it was his 30th year in the NBA, are people still going to say, how do you lose? And because he's been doing it for 30 years. With everyone else, age is a factor. But with LeBron, it's almost like people don't even look at the fact of his age. You know, with Tom Brady, everyone talked about his age. LeBron is like, okay, say if he plays for another 4 years, he's going to be 25 years in the NBA. Yeah. And if he loses in the playoffs, then people are going to say, oh, it's his 25th year. You know?
I agree.
So it's
but it might be time to retire then.
If he's at the top of his game and his peak career and he's younger and athletic.
He's not the best player in the league, though.
No, he's not the best player in the league, but I'm saying he's top 10 still in his 21st year.
Because, I mean, if we want to talk about the best player in the league, it's got to be – I mean, there's a couple different ones that come – but Djokovic is definitely up there.
Djokovic, Wemby.
I mean,
Wemby's already the best player in the league. I don't care what anybody. He has more threes than Steph Curry had his rookie year, and more rebounds than anyone's.
If he can continue, get a body on him, I think be even more dominant than what he is. And I think
if he wasn't as lean as he was and underweight, and he wasn't a rookie, people give him his credit because people give
Djokovic.
Joker. They give him his credit because he's older and he's bigger. But I don't think they're giving him his credit because when you talk about stats, he's doing something that like no one's ever done.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you can't compare those two like that because Djokovic has already been MVP twice, and he's got rings.
Yeah.
You know, he's beat out pretty much everybody. So when Bamba's got to get to that point where he can carry the team like Djokovic does. You know, I mean, because he can dribble, he can shoot. Yeah. I mean, he can do everything.
But Djokovic wasn't the top player in the NBA before he won the championship, though, was he?
Yeah, he was. He was MVP. That year, and then he won another MVP.
But how long how old is he though? He's older, right? Isn't he like he's been around for at least 5, 6, 7 years.
Yes.
So I mean, Wemby's like senior in high school age.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah. Listen, 100%. Like he is.
Just imagine if Wemby came over here and went to one of these private schools over here instead of going to the NBA.
Yeah, he's 29 years old.
Just imagine if Wemby went to IMG or something like that right now.
It'd be crazy. Be crazy.
Yeah, he's 29, so he's got 10 years on him.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, at that point he does got a little bit. Yeah. Can you imagine fighting 300-pound Joker for the paint for 45 minutes? Definitely not. Like that he's big, 6'11", like.
Just imagine going up against Shaq when he was 370.
You know what?
He got to 370 when he played for LA. That was
You're
big. One time he got huge.
You're right.
I think remember he lost all the weight, went to Miami.
I do. You know, that's the thing. And it's a little bit different playing back then to play now as far as what goes down on the paint and all that stuff too as well. So just different, but it's all good. It's a good thing to talk about. All right. So if you guys got any questions about us, hit us up. How much time we got? 10 minutes? 12 minutes? All right. So Chinese public toilet scan.
Yeah. Basically, Chinese public toilets, they can I thought it was free, but it's not free. It's $3. Basically, you can go in the public restroom, you pee into the urinal, and it has a screen that basically tells you. It's like a health check, which I think is genius. I think they should do it over here. It says it's in men's public rooms. I don't know why they don't have it in women's rooms. Maybe they do, but it just says the men's has a. Basically, I don't know if you can see the screen, but it's like a urinal, has a screen on it. So after you pee, it detects any impurities or whatever that you may have. I don't know if it's a drug test. I'm not sure specifically what it tests for, but it's good that they have that. I'm sure they're going to put it over here. It's just a matter of time. But China, it just seems like China is so advanced in everything, and everything is like health related. Everything, from kindergarten, the way they teach the kids, from the way everything is health related over there. So I wonder if they're going to do it over here. And I wonder if they're going to start doing this over here at places with their jobs. Like, say, if you go in the break room and you go use the bathroom, is it going to detect? So, say if you go and get a job and they make you take a urine test to get the job, now they have a sample of your urine, what your urine is. So now if you're at work and you go use the bathroom and you go and something is in your urine that's detected, they could just be like, okay, the report could come back to whoever runs that department and be like, nope, call you in the office, you have to go, this is what we found in your urine, this is the date, this is the time, bye. So I feel like it's good and it's bad. I think it's genius. I mean, it says it's only $2. It's like 20 yen or yen, which is like $2.76. But you could check it out. I mean,
it's definitely
it's not going to do your blood work, obviously.
No, definitely not.
But I mean,
you can get a urinalysis done if you guys ever want to do a urinalysis. I mean, we offer them too at Titan. So, usually they have the 24-hour one, or they have the quick one where you go into the lab and just do it, and they can look at proteins in the urine, or if there's anything happening like that. So, it is an option for you guys out there if you guys want to do it.
It's just crazy.
Crazy that's in the bathroom.
Yeah, it says they test for calcium, vitamin C, just nitrates, ketones, pH, alkalinity, all that stuff. So it's just crazy that in a public restroom too. So it's not like you have to go to a doctor for this. So I don't know what type of neighborhoods it's in. If it's only like in certain places. But I can't wait to go into a bathroom and see that. I'll be paying every day. Because I'll do experiments on myself. I'll go drink a cheap energy drink and then piss it out and be like, just to tell you guys how bad it is. Or something like that,
I don't really know. Like here, because in China, it's a communist country. You can do whatever you want. Or they can do whatever they want, I guess, as far as the government goes. For over here, I don't know if there'll be privacy laws in place, HIPAA in place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It'd just be
but if you pay for it, it's kind of like your own.
Yeah, you're given authorization for it. Remember this stuff, though. They hold you. They got your stuff. It is what it is. Just kind of crazy. Just definitely crazy, 100%.
I'm assuming it's going to get even more strict, where it's going to be like, certain places you're going to have to pee to enter.
Yeah.
Like, now, they'll make you take a urine test before you get a job. And now it might be down the line where you step into a building and there's a line of people and you have to pee first. And, okay, now you can go in. Yeah. Like, where they can really control stuff. So
that's crazy.
It's scary. It's good, but it's scary. Yeah. What's going to be next?
Sean said that's biotechnology at its finest. Absolutely. Jim Milley said, you guys have any new therapies in the works? Any new offerings you're working on? So I don't know if you know about all of our therapies, Jim. So I can't go over every single one today, but like MOTS-C just came out. It's another good one. GHKCU, if you haven't talked about that one. PT141. It just kind of depends what you're going after, what you're trying to achieve. Where we can really talk about this.
Testomerone,
dude. That's one of the new ones. And that one's an awesome one. So look into those. I do have some other ones that I am working on. Some different things that I'm working on. So
also too, what are you looking to get out of them too? So
yes,
give you an idea of what we have coming up.
Good. All right. Sean Purcell also said we need to start using biological age rather than date of birth age. And if you guys don't know what the difference is, I'll explain it to you real quick. So biological age is what your body has aged.
That's what they do in China, right? I think that's probably why she said that.
Yeah. Your date of birth age. So I'm 43 years old, but my biological age is like 35. So that means that I'm like a 35 on the inside as far as inside, but I'm 43 years old. So that's how they look. And there's actually tests that you can run to see where your biological age is at.
Wait, so what is it? Wait. I thought she meant like, because in China they say from the time you're conceived, like when you're born.
There's biological age and there's chronological age. Chronological age is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Yeah. What you are, right? Biological age is how your body has aged. So
I want to see that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I might be 70.
So I know you're probably younger. I know like Mike's when he did his test, he's like he was 55 at the time. It said he was like a 38-year-old as far as biological. So at that point, like there is a different test you can run on. I'll try to see if I can get it here at Titan so we can run it on you guys if you guys want to. But yeah, that's pretty much about it as far as that.
Navy veteran said Jordan, Kobe, then Steph Curry. Steph Curry. No, I wouldn't put Steph Curry in the top.
Not top 3.
I wouldn't even put him in the top like 15. I don't know.
He's really good.
He's really good. He's a good offensive player. He's a really good offensive player. He's top 10 best offensive player. But
think about it. Really, he broke the mold on the 3-pointers.
Yeah.
He really did.
He's the best 3-point shooter of all time.
I mean, he just, man, he's.
I'll give him that. I'll give him the best 3-point shooter of all time. He can create his shot good.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I grew up watching Reggie Miller. Reggie Lewis is when I was really young.
Yeah.
Reggie Miller and those guys.
That's what I'm saying. Like when they played, the 3-point game wasn't the big thing.
Yeah, nah.
Now it's
still
the big thing.
They did in specific games. It was
Yeah, when Jordan hit all those threes, remember that?
Even going back in Boston days, like Larry Bird.
Oh yeah.
He was like a 6'10" shooter. He was one of the first tall shooters.
He's another guy who created a shot. And him and Magic going back and forth, those were iconic.
Yeah, they said Larry Bird. All the players say he was the worst trash talker of everybody.
Oh, really?
More Jordan. They say Larry Bird will talk more than anybody.
The hick from French Lick.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, so I think that's it, Drew. Unless you got anything else,
that's pretty much it. We went over therapy of the week. Went over some of the topics. We had a couple more topics. We'll probably get to those next week because time's getting a little bit short.
Yep.
Got any more questions before we get out of here? See real quick.
Yep. Any more? If you guys don't, it's all good. All right, guys.
We got a lot of comments about the Jordan.
I tell you, that was a great topic.
Yeah.
The great one.
Yeah, it was a good one. But that's pretty much it. We'll be right back next week. Tight Lifestyle. We do this every week at 2 p.m. Check us out on this show on Facebook, Instagram, the podcast. Make sure you hit the bell on YouTube as well so you're notified of these videos. We'll see you guys next week. Get your questions ready. We'll be right back. We love the questions, guys, so keep them coming.
Definitely. See you guys later.